Ai, não capote zanu. Oi, não capote Brasil. Ai, não capote sexy. Oi, não capote bikini. Là où je la femme, gardez-les bien. Avant vous parler, gardez ça hier. Ai, não capote zanu. Oi, não capote Brasil. Ai, não capote sexy. Oi, não capote bikini. En tout pays, ça can exister. Ou que toujours joindre, l'homme qui habillé comme femme. Aïe, l'homme qui porte sanguin. Oh, l'homme qui porte bracelet. Aïe, l'homme qui porte sexy. Oh, l'homme qui porte bikini. Méchant, méchant. Cadence. Laissez ça marcher. Mama, tu t'as joué ça. Ça va chier. Chaud. Bien joué, méchant. Ça va les points. Jouez ça, Maxime, jouez ça les points. Maman, mystique. Ça va, tu es. Allez Dambou, yo allez Baba, yo allez Guada, yo allez Saint-Lucie, yo en pays Yawa, yo aïe, yo non mais avec non, comment est joli, yo comme avec femme, comment est joli. La vie est abomination, t'as qu'à tuer un nation. La vie est abomination, t'as condamné un nation. Aïe. Il nomme na yo capote nos journaux. Donc on est yo, et bâtia. On connaît un village qui est dans l'audio. Mais il n'y a pas de non, hein. Méchant. Non avec non. Comme un dit. Comme avec ça. Comme un dit. Et Batia. Allez dormir. Allez à Paris. Allez Guyane. Allez Jamaïque. Maman tout partout. You can porter. You can porter ça non. You can ça yo toujours battre ça yo hein. Ça va, j'ai les frères. You got this. You got this. La vie a mon message. You got this. Là, y a un homme qui va sur la terre. Pour y toujours manger et pas rien. Même si c'est général et c'est président. Pour y toujours faire correction, j'ai passé, nous va passer. Passer, nous va passer. Papa, pourquoi on fait que ça là ou pas rien? Passer, nous va passer. Passer, nous va passer. Nous finissons rien, nous va pas dire ça rien. Passer, nous va passer. Moun ka viv kon yo ki fe koyo. Koyo chose e jaja ki fe yo. Yo mette bagay la te avan bon Dieu. Mais tout ça nous ka goume pouwa. Asi la te nou ka kite. Pase nou ka pase. Papa pourquoi on fait que ça là ou pas rien. Pase nou ka pase. Pase nou ka pase. Nous finissons rien, nous ka pati sans rien. Pase nou ka pase. Sector de son cara. Là, y a un homme qui arrive sur la terre. Pour y toujours changer et pas rien. Même si c'est général et c'est président. Pour y toujours faire correction, j'ai passé, nous va passer. Passer, nous va passer. Papa, pourquoi on fait que ça là ou pas rien. Passer, nous va passer. Passer, nous va passer. Nous finissons rien, nous va pas dire ça rien. Passer, nous va passer. Oh yeah. Aba soleil, aba la ligne. Aba c'est clair, aba l'eau. Aba la ligne, aba soleil.
Good afternoon, Dominica. Good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to the Talk on the Block. If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing at this time, good afternoon to you. This is the Talk on the Block. We're following the current issues of today. Of course, our eye still on Barrel. Let's first present today the Caribbean Report from the Caribbean News Desk.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Dennis Chabral. Hurricane Beryl, a Category 4 storm, barreled down on the Caribbean yesterday, leaving in its wake millions of dollars in losses. Hardest hit were the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, which make up the tri-island nation with Grenada. Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell has been receiving a briefing.
We have reports of extensive storm surge. We have reports of extensive loss of roof and damage to buildings. There is no electricity on any of the islands, and communication is also difficult.
Carriacou, a 13 square mile island, was almost flattened, and almost 1 square mile island of Petite Martinique, with 900 persons, was badly affected. Beryl lifted off roofs and knocked down a telecommunications tower, effectively cutting off the estimated 10,000 inhabitants of Carriacou from the rest of the world. The Grenadian Prime Minister says emergency accommodation was being made available to displaced residents, and arrangements were being made to purchase emergency supplies from businesses on Carriacou. In St. George's, Grenada's capital, the roof of the police force headquarters and part of the country's main hospital were damaged by the storm. Grenadian journalist Linda Straker was at home when the hurricane passed over her residence. Although the roof of her concrete and wooden home is secure, she said she was afraid.
I had to shed tears because I became so frightened to see the trees around me just falling. My fruit trees are falling. The internet wire is down. Everything around my immediate area is down. This was one of the most frightening things I've gone through so far, and I just wanted to be over. I wanted to stop.
Similar damage and destruction to roofs and the coastal flooding due to storm surges were also reported in St. Vincent as well as the Grenadines. The Category 4 storm struck Tobago, knocking out electricity and the phone services in parts of that island. Water supply was turned off to prevent pollution. Journalist Candice Jackson, who traveled to northeast Tobago ahead of the storm, says that island was spared the worst. She witnessed boaters on the coast of that tourism and fishing dependent island struggling to save their vessels.
Tobago did miss the worst of it. Most of the damages happened to some fishermen who did not heed the warning of taking their vessels out of the water and bringing them to shore beforehand. So there were a few that decided that, the storm was not going to be that bad and left their vessels in. So those fishermen had problems with their vessel, and so in the case of Charlottesville, the villagers came together to help rescue some of the vessels that were being tossed around in those waves, and it was some pretty rough waters.
Flights and the ferry service between Trinidad and Tobago are expected to resume after wind gusts and storm surges ease. International cargo ships were told not to enter the port until they get the green light. Trinidad and Tobago's local government minister Fawaz Al-Rawi says there were reports of structural damage on both islands.
Has already reported on what the information coming out of Tobago looks like, and that there were roof issues and other structures, fallen trees, etc. In Trinidad, I have already identified that we had very low numbers of structural issues in attention, just one or two roofs that were under pressure with trees fallen, which we've in fact already attended to or are in the process of doing it.
Incumbent leader of Guyana's main opposition People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, was voted back into office. The returning officer said Mr. Norton won 1,066 votes of the 1,040 votes that were cast for the position of leader. However, the days ahead of the PNC's internal elections, the party had said that there were about 2,000 delegates, but an official party release issued yesterday said there were 1,300 delegates from 218 groups. The PNCR also passed a resolution that Mr. Norton must be its presidential candidate. However, if there must be a change, only Mr. Norton can make that decision. Newly elected leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, had said he would be available to be the opposition's consensus candidate. And across at the Alliance for Change, Mr. Hughes was elected party leader at the weekend. After a landslide victory against his rival Sherrod Duncan, Mr. Hughes told the AFC's National Conference delegates that he was not in a hurry for a coalition with any other political party. The priority, he says, is to revive the AFC.
We are going back to our stronghold and saying to them, we're sorry, we might have failed you. We have looked at our failures, we have corrected our wrongs, and we have come back better and stronger than any ever before.
He says the AFC will diagnose why the coalition lost the 2020 general elections. This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp on +592 700 9293. Thanks. Yes.
Again, thank you. On the line with me, though, of course, is Caribbean journalist, I say par excellence, from Guyana, reporting for us this afternoon there. He's our good friend. How are you, sir, this afternoon? How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Matt. You've actually taken up the 5 minutes that I set aside for you. So I only have 2 or 3 minutes to speak with you. So please go ahead quickly.
That's fine. But we just heard that the Guyanese Defense Force this morning loaded the first several flights with relief supplies for Grenada, whose sister islands were of course, devastated there on Monday. What can you tell us, Dennis Chabral?
Well, the flights have been loaded, and I think they're waiting clearance from Grenada for a flight to lift off and land in either Grenada itself or Carriacou.
Can you tell us exactly what the supplies are?
Well, they're basically non-perishable items that they have set aside for the people of Grenada at this time.
But tell me quickly, do you think Caribbean? I think you listened to the news conference that they had this morning. Any notable item was discussed there?
Well, no, they're just trying to do damage assessments and so on before they actually decide what more they will ask for assistance from the other Caribbean countries. Okay,
but quickly before you go, just one last question. Can you tell us any give us information as to where burial is at this point? I know you've been monitoring from Guyana.
Where?
So you've been monitoring from Guyana in terms of burial, the hurricane, of course, that passed through the Caribbean. Can you give us any information as to where burial is located at this time?
Oh, it's heading towards Jamaica. It should make landfall there sometime tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay, Dennis, I know you seem very busy this afternoon there, so we're going to let you go. But thank you very much.
Yes, all right, take care now.
Thank you, Dennis Chabrol, out of the Caribbean News Desk. And we just got information, as you heard him said, the Guyana Defense Force this morning loaded the first several flights with several supplies for Grenada, whose sister islands were Monday devastated by Hurricane Beryl and claimed at least 4 lives. We're hearing at this time. The Defense Force Commission, CDC, said its staff and members of the CDC Volunteer Corps packed relief hampers for residents of Grenada, items such as tarpaulins, chainsaws, generators, batteries, torchlights, safety vests, hygiene items, water purification tablets, and collapsible water bottles were dispatched early this morning from Guyana. President Ali today released pictures of the Grenada skyline packed with an assortment of items. Hours after Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell said he was expecting an aircraft from Guyana with much needed supplies. In the case of Guyana, the plane is already loaded. It was loaded this morning. Even after plane lands in Carriacou, we have to be able to move with the persons from Carriacou. So we want to make sure that takes place first when the relief supplies get there. Mr. Mitchell said he had specifically requested helicopter assistance as an immediate need to access Carriacou, where almost all the buildings have been flattened and telecommunication services have been cut. There is no fuel for heavy-duty machinery. The Prime Minister said one person died in Grenada when a tree fell on the house while Hurricane Beryl slammed the island. Across in Carriacou, he said 2 other persons perished. A number of houses, the police headquarters, and the hospital in Grenada were damaged by the storm. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves said 1 person died on the sister island of Bequia. There were no immediate reports of deaths on Union Island, where he said 90% of the buildings and airport buildings were badly damaged and destroyed. Dr. Gonsalves said President Ali had promised to send a quantity of construction material. Dominica, Beryl left a trail of disaster. I'm hoping, like we saw during Maria, that we can give at least some assistance. What we have, water, we have plenty of water. I'm hoping that some statement can be made very shortly to assist the people in either St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Somebody suggesting here that I am thinking we can use our underemployed and underemployed to assist Grenada with rebuilding. This is how we got so many St. Lucians and Jamaicans here. They came to assist us after Maria. It's time to lend our hands. We don't have money to share. It's opportunities for young men to leave the streets and go help the people of the affected islands. What do you think of that suggestion that people could, utilize the young men who are just sitting by doing nothing to go down and help and give assistance to the people in need? Reach out and touch, huh? As a people, what do you think we can do to help these countries? Of course, many requests. I think we should reach out as a people, no? On the telephone. Hello, good afternoon. Yes. Yes, hi, how you doing?
It brings me back to something.
It brings you back to what?
Different 40 years.
Uh-huh.
And they were strong, eh?
What's that?
Strong people.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had the different force and training for what happened, we train constant training, we have an army here. But sometimes it's from the police, you have to take and send over there. No. There are many people in Carpenter, Mason, those at Domlek, they could have made a package like that and send them out to help them over there. Because they are our sisters and brothers over there. You understand? But the defense force was really, or you can even take the cadet corps. You can really cadet corps as them to send them over to give a helping hand. That's what I can say.
So what can you help with? What can you help with? But anyway, of course, it's just a question there. Let's listen to this voice note from Mervyn. Yes?
Matt, that suggestion is a brilliant suggestion to have a lot of the under and the unemployed to go help in these countries that are devastated, because there are a lot of skilled men, a lot of skilled young men that are actually on the street just sitting by the roadside. I don't know if they would prefer sit by the roadside and take that kind of initiative, but I guess in terms of what we have calling governance, I don't know if it will put something in place to absorb these young men and to send them overseas with their skill settings to really rebuild these countries. That's a very, very, very brilliant idea.
At least offer a stipend or something. But help is really needed based on the reports that are coming in. On the telephone, yes?
Yes, but after Maria, we got a lot of assistance. St. Lucians, Grenadians, Tutmon came down there to assist us.
Jamaicans.
So I think Jamaica. So I think the person who suggested that is a good idea. Because we have a lot of young, unskilled men in Dominica, carpentry, mason, and collect them and send them up there. Even if the government here have to be responsible to pay them, send them to work. Because if they Dominica, they're not getting work. So send them to work. And
well, you think they would have the capacity, if you will, blue to pay? Because I mean, our NEP workers are getting problems to get paid. So that might be a problem right there.
Matt, we have enough passport money outside there. Call the person holding the bank outside and tell them we need to put our young people in employment. So dish out some cash. We need to get some water containers, the big black water containers, Dawasco to full them up, get a tank and send them on it because we can't afford to buy bottled water to send up for them because only one place we have here that's producing
Water.
So get some big containers, send up water in bulk for them. That would be a good idea, and the government can do that. Because after Maria, we got Bailey Bridges from St. Vincent, wasn't that so?
Mm-hmm.
The Bailey Bridges came from St. Vincent. I can remember that now. They hear they saying how many millions of dollars to put up a Bailey Bridge when a lot of them, I think they got them for free from St. Vincent after Hurricane Maria. If I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me right, that could be happening too because St. Vincent help us. They send us flour, they send whatever food kind they have for us, but we haven't got nothing. We can send up flour, sugar, nothing for them. At least water and some men to help them up there. That is the best we have to offer. We haven't got food, they grow in their own food. So we have to get something to give them because they need help us. And Gonzales will be looking at Starboy for her assistance because Gonzales did help Starboy. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, man. Great idea to send our young men, but I must ask, what's their skill set? I'm sure that might be established. They don't need people to just hang out, but to work, assist in the cleanup processes and rebuilding. I agree with you too, you know, but we have to get young people to go out there and help Carriacou, Peter Martinique, and Grenada, St. Vincent. Hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Hey, Mark, good afternoon. Friday.
How are you doing, sir? Sarafed?
Good, good, good. You know, up to this morning, there was a group of us taximen who had a conversation from the south, also slash bus drivers.
Okay.
And at the moment, there's nothing significant for us to do because there's no cruise ship coming in. I believe if there's a way we could go up there and help them, would be more than willing. Even me, myself, would put myself on the front line to go down and help them. Even I cannot do construction, but I will pass materials. I'll do what I can do to help them because what I saw there, it's not easy.
I know.
It's not easy and they need help.
I think they really need help. You know, reach out. I'm hoping that the Prime Minister makes a statement, or the government makes a statement as it relates to somebody's saying, Matt, all this is just talk. Well, does the young man want to work? That's a good question too. But you just had a young man volunteer to give work, so you can't just make a blanket statement and say they don't want to work. That's being negative. You can't know unless you ask them. Mad Plus, I'm sure somebody's saying some can find work in private capacity. Insurance will compensate homeowners and labor will be in demand. So it's a win-win for Dominica too. We've been crying when we don't have work. So here's a working opportunity for Dominicans who might want to work in the rebuilding process up there in Peter Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada, St. Vincent. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yeah?
Yes, Matter, good day.
Good day to you.
Well, Antigua send some police officers, but we have some police officers following the workers. Instead of following the workers, they can send them away to help. What do you say?
Well, that's a good suggestion as well. There's some, at least a contingent of police officers can go help.
Of course, send some police officers. If it's too many they have and they have to walk around with us, send them and help because we got help. Thank you.
Thank you too. 449-3095-96 and 97. Hello, talk to me, yes?
But, Grenada got hit.
Grenada got, yes, badly hit, yes, for sure.
Okay. Now, the guy called a while ago, Langsal, spoke about, like the taxi drivers and whatever. And right now, we know people was there and whatever, nothing, no ship coming in. It would be very interesting, to go. The taxi drivers, I myself am a taxi driver, and I'd be willing to go as well, and give me assistance in any way I can up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'll let you know.
All right.
Take care, man.
No problem. Of course, there are a lot of young men that will want to go and give some assistance. In the meantime, there's no cruise ship season. They will give us 3 months and help with the construction, the rebuilding efforts there. Somebody's asking, have we prepared our young men for such undertakings? There are a lot of skilled young men that are not employed, that I can tell you. And one youth officer is telling me the idea may be a good one to use. Unemployment, or the men who are unemployed sitting by the roadside for such purpose. However, is there a registry of these young men who have necessary skills for that deployment? Are they certified? Again, that's where certification comes in. But there are a number of course, you're making a point, but there are a lot of people who came from St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Jamaica. Were these people certified? On the telephone, good afternoon to you. Yes?
Good afternoon, Matthias. How are you this afternoon, Matthias?
How are you, sir? How are you?
Just watching the situation in the Caribbean, and just wishing our brothers and sisters all the best for their trials and tribulations out from that hurricane, Matt. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The events are upon us. We're vulnerable as a Caribbean island and the Caribbean islands altogether. It's going to be a recurring event, so we always have to remember and prep for that. But Matt, I heard you all talk about sending some young guys over there from Dominica to work, and some people say that's a brilliant idea. Am I wrong, Matt? Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
It's a good idea, but it's a bad idea, Matt. It's a good idea, but it can be a very embarrassing idea. Because, Matt, from day one under the reconstruction of Dominica after Maria, we did not capitalize on all the foreign experts that came to help, right? Use those resources, the qualified resources, and use our underprivileged young men to tap in to get a good hands-on experience by engaging themselves in the reconstruction of Dominica. And even after the disaster dust has settled, there was no continuation, or if there wasn't just that, much less to have a continuation of a program where you could say you're aiming to see if you could cap 40% of the unemployed young men in Dominica to do with technical skills, Matt. There was never nothing like that set up. So, but at the end of the day, I will tell you, one of the most frustrating things in the contractual world, when you are in the most desperate moment for workman and workforce, and you have to turn over work very fast, it is very hard at that point in time to be tutoring people. It can be very frustrating. It can impede in the quality, it can impede in the turnover time. And while it might sound good, it can work out bad, Matt. You understand, Matt? So, Matt, you see, these are the things that where you're going to see the effect of incompetency and planning to do with using and building your human resource. You understand? And that's only lies in the hands of the government. Because at the end of the day, it is the same government that boasts how much things they are doing in Dominica, building. But they cannot go in the villages, the different... It doesn't even have to be village per se, no. It could have just been constituency targeted quantity of men to get certified training at the end of maybe a 2-year program, attaching those guys to what is going on, what they claim, only what they say going on in Dominica. Tap them guys onto that for them to get some professional skill. Electrician, masonry, carpentry, plumber, you understand? Architect, to a greater extent. We did not capitalize on our space to educate in this field. So now, do we really have the capacity to just take a handful of guys and send them out there who we expect to have a reasonable contribution to do with the reconstruction of any island in the Caribbean that we seek to help that has trying to succumb to the damages from the hurricane? But the answer is no.
But of course, you can use the same scenario for those who came in to help after Hurricane Maria. We had a lot of St. Lucians, we had a lot of Grenadians, St. Vincent. Do you think all of these guys were skilled or they learned to the job?
I saw some videos and stuff of them Lucians and them guys working. And you can testify, a lot of them, you cannot say that because a lot of them were actually getting contracts paid by insurance companies to do roofs, especially, Matt. You know that. So you cannot even categorize those guys that came in as under-knowledgeable guys. Those guys were getting full contract without no Dominican in play to the roofs. So you have to show me the data that tells me where I am there that what came in from Mario outside there was not of a reasonable skill set. You understand? Because they stayed way after Mario just repaying roofs, getting insurance job. And then you on that radio station yourself, you will hear any complaint saying, oh, it's Lucerne alone that doing all the roofs.
Huh.
Oh, it's Lucerne alone. Oh, it's this alone. You remember that? I doesn't forget, you know. So,
but I will say they're still here. They're still here in Dominica. A lot of them still here.
So Matt, you cannot be bad and still here. You proving you actually strengthening my point. You cannot be working below board and being Dominica going on 5-6 years, still continuing to work. You understand my point? You have to work your salt for you to establish yourself and get continuity in your skill.
So are you trying to suggest now maybe the solution should go and of course give help there? Maybe they should leave Dominica and go.
But the point is we lack the opportunity to build capacity using our young men with skill set to respond to something that is inevitable in the Caribbean. Hurricane. We just losing. We don't have foresight. We're looking for now power for vote, and that is it in Dominica. And we spoil there, and the people sit down there and accept that energy, not realizing they are the only ones at the end of the day getting punished, you know. I'm not asking you. You see it on the block. You seeing them fellas on the block. They can work if they are trained to work, man. They want to work. Guys are very good in their hands. Like I tell you, a number of them from the time they land in the US and they put them into it. In 2 years, 1 year, NFL is a licensed plumber. He just come up. He's a drywaller. He just come up. Man on high rise working union. You understand? My little chick, get their papers, boom, boom, boom. And they apply themselves because the environment is conducive for them to get focused, get serious, and apply themselves. And the stats are there. Call anybody in New York, Mark. You're already in New York. There are guys you used to see on the block growing up. You're not living better than them over there. You get my point, Mark? The facts are there. There's nobody hungry that holds a skill set on foreign soil. Everybody on top of the game outside there.
Here's a point somebody else is making there, Tad. I want you to listen very well. Matt, the qualifications argument is dumb. Dominicans are really unbelievable people. In such desperate times, what qualifications this dude is talking about? How do you respond to that?
What are you talking about? No. You see, again, when you're not in something, you can just over the top assume what you want to assume.
Mm-hmm.
It is there's a difference between qualified and being experienced, you know, man. Qualification is where you go for a program and a professor, somebody give you a certificate, certifying you on the higher end that you are able to do certain things.
Okay.
You don't need a formal certification to be able to work your science. You get my point?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of you have embraced a skill set and you can execute. You can go and work with any company and hold your end. That's the bottom line. I'm not asking anybody to show me a certificate. I'm asking, do these guys visually, when you see them, can they hold their end on the contractual field? And the answer is no, because they have not been trained when they had the opportunity to get trained, man. You don't have to be certified. And don't mix matters with certification and the ability to do something. You understand my point? Ability to do something is a different thing from certification.
All right, caller, let's take a few more phone calls coming in there. And somebody's actually arguing the Thad there, saying, what training is this dude talking about? It's not Olympics. Come on. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? How are you, sir?
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, but sometimes, you see, we have to really win, our vibe.
Okay.
Because you see, Matt, I tell you, we have a lot of skills, man. You can load up with skills, man, and you'll be amazed to see the amount of skills that we have laid on in this country. That not utilizing, that not in use.
Okay.
However, Matt, the journalist you spoke with this morning, I think is Gittins.
Julius Gittins. Good. Julius Gittins, yes.
Right. So he makes an observation with regards to the lack of preparation in the Caribbean, whereby he suggested that none of the Caribbean islands is not ready, is not prepared for a category 4 or 5 hurricane, which is a fact. Because, Matt, when you really analyze it, see, for instance, what discussion we have in there now. What we are discussing there is a lack of structure, Caribbean structure. We don't have, because we're talking about, we have the Caribbean head meeting ever so often. But what is it that they're really meeting for, to put in place to deal with situations such as this? So, for instance, if we were to take men and send up to Grenada or St. Vincent, what is the game plan? What is the structure? Because if, for instance, I were to take my team and go up there, you would have to give me a comprehensive, detailed plan as to how many houses I'm going to operate with, how many, what type of structure I'm going to work, what type of material, if it's construction, if it's cement work, or if it's timber. So, all in all, Matt, we lack that kind of preparation in the region and structure. So that is where we are today. Now, I mean, really and truly, you might say we really have trade men, but to also take trade men and send up there, that is another problem too. That can be another problem. So really and truly, our problem in the region is the selfishness and the greed, and as a result, we, the citizens of this region, we are suffering, man. Because, for instance, you have the selfishness that long time, with the different currency in the region, man, that stifle and crippling us. You have Trinidad, Guyana, different currency, Barbados, different currency. So that is where now the whole Caribbean region, man, it is in turmoil. Jamaica, different currency. So when you watch it now, the EC dollar now, they're fighting. They're fighting, and it can only spend in certain countries. Now the money cannot spend, so basically cannot struggle now the region is having. So the guy make a very important point that we are not ready and we are not prepared. And it is time that we have some new heads, new leaders to bring in the structure and the plan that will help us deal with situations like we are experiencing now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. On Facebook, I'm reading here, skilled workers must be considered. But at this time, while the focus is looking at the outside, Dominica must be aware of another system brewing on a similar path, like Barrel. He soon come and start, and Barrel caused the treasury to be empty at this time. Somebody saying, anyway, man, let other callers call. I had what? I had to fire a Dominican contractor and hire one from another island. Dominicans are difficult and have too many excuses when it comes to work. Terrible ethics. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Comments there from Facebook. Let's take a few phone calls. Hello, yes?
Yes, Matt, it's me again. Matt, just go down in, how you call there, in the zone area and ask Mel, how many of them men, them young guys from there that build upstairs and downstairs house in Roseau? If you go on Cock Street, you see upstairs and downstairs house that was built by Mel too. If you go on Hillsborough Street, you see upstairs and downstairs house that was built by Mel too. And others, my daughters, those two, I can tell you, and that the young men that sitting on the block there, they maybe haven't got the qualification, like maybe some, they may be required, but they did the work because they built two solid upstairs and downstairs structure, one in Cock Street and one in Hillsborough Street. That is a fact. Ask Mel that question. Who built them houses? And more around the place, that is those two I can pinpoint for you. Bye-bye.
Well, Mel should pick up a few, and send them to Carriacou or Petit Martinique or Grenada. I would not repeat somebody say what the callers are saying to contradict that. What he's saying is a fact. If you are rebuilding, it's not shacks or jupa they're going to put up. You must have the skill set. No one will look to a guy who understands cleanup to place on a structure as a carpenter. But right now, it's cleanup going up in Grenada, and they need a lot of help. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes. With no disrespect, right? Man like Thaddeus, when he come on the phone, you have that man chatting, you keep him too long on the radio, chatting as rubbish.
So what?
He always know Mr. Know It All. You give him too long chances to rubbish, man. Let's make a short point and quit and move.
Oh, hold on. What is your suggestion? What is your suggestion? Chad had one suggestion. What is yours?
Good idea to get some skilled workers. But the way he's talking like you have to have qualifications, and in that some of these are stuff, he's not looking for qualifications. You're looking for people that can do the work, people that capable of their bodies fit and they can have certain work. You have all different kind of work. You have labor, you have all different kind of things. But he's talking about qualifications and whatnot. That's why you have been a man trying to do nonsense on the air, man. Thank you, man.
All right, there are some people saying he's talking a lot of sense. So I guess different opinions. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Hello, good afternoon, man.
How are you? How are you?
I'm blessed.
Okay.
I'm just sympathizing with the people and them that go through the disaster.
Yes,
Okay.
Are you just emphasizing? All right, that is correct about but what did the Chinese ambassador say, supported by Skerrit? Our labor force is not skilled like the Chinese yet. Still, most of the remedial works as a result of poor workmanship by the Chinese are being done by our actual labor contractors. What an insult. He told Libla from Ace Engineering and others that they can't put up a bid contract proposal together. Yet another insult. And Thaddeus is right. Those guys just sit there and accept these insults. Hello on the telephone. Are you there? No, you're not. Let's take another phone call. Are you there? Yes? Hello? Wow. Again, it's just a suggestion there that we need workers there to rebuild these countries in the Grenadines. And this is an opportunity for young men. And I'm hearing opportunity being stifled at this point. On the telephone, yes?
Yes, good afternoon, so Matt.
How are you, sir? How are you?
Matt, I just hear Tad call you there and talking a bunch of nonsense, and I second the man that just called you there too. Because if you ask in the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, Antigua, St. Kitts, all about the place, you're going to find Dominicans is the best construction workers in the Lower Caribbean. I call any one of them, any call, just call. And I fail to understand why Dominicans like to condemn their own self like that. Why Dominicans like to condemn their own self like that? Since Skerrit getting there, Dominicans just cannot do nothing, Matt. Some have nothing Dominicans cannot do. The Chinese condemn the labor force because the Chinese want to have their own way. Look at the opportunity for the man them to go out there and make a food. Start condemning them. So now what is wrong with Dominicans just keep condemning our own people and will not give them an opportunity to make ends meet. Same on Dominicans, Gasa. The best ever construction worker you can ever find in the Lower Caribbean is Dominicans. And I know it have good quality young men that can work in Dominica. They operate excavator, drive truck, work construction, good contractors. Shame on those people there, man. Just like how Skerrit condemn Dominicans and say we cannot work. And just so everybody just condemn Dominicans. And Dominica was building before Skerrit come with no foreigners in Dominica. And only just side with Skerrit with his nonsense. And everybody that feel they have a little degree and education, just following them with the nonsense. Shame on all you, man. Give Dominica a chance, man.
All right, caller, thank you very much. I'm on a construction project right now, Pittsburgh International Airport. You can train these people in a week. Of course, another contractor, another, of course, person involved in construction says, hello, talk to me, yes? Easily. I'm here.
There was a man they called Elliot Road from Loda.
Well,
he had a lot of workers, a few workers working with him. There's a fella down there, I can call his name Bevinsky. He lives in Winston Lane. And Bevinsky was there as a laborer, mixing cement, doing real things. And he said that he learned. And Bevinsky build houses. I know I can go in Jefferson and say, oh, Bevinsky build. He have to build the house in the highway by when you go from the place and go down. And he can build something too. He built the house where you're living in. So you have to go learn something and you can do something. You understand? But people think as when you need some paper, you need something here. But I am here, that I saw him at the head, him calling his name. Devin Skibby the building today. But he did not come as a full-time worker. He came as a laborer to do this work, and today he learned. So we must try some kind of our people. We have some second, then give them a chance, let them see what they can do. You understand?
Okay, caller, thank you. Someone saying, give them a chance, give them a chance. Yes, they're not skilled, but they need a chance. Different opinions there, different viewpoints. Guess we have to respect each other's opinions. Tal is very much on point. If we don't take heed, we will still be unprepared like before Maria. That's a WhatsApp message. Good afternoon, Matt. The Youth Division and BCAD can put together a team to provide meaningful contribution to the sister islands which were affected by Hurricane Beryl. Mr. Roach, you should start speaking with BCAD. On the telephone, hello, yes?
Yes, my brother.
Yes, I.
Matt, I'm listening, and I think some of us don't understand some of us when we speak. Well, I'm going to talk some nonsense, okay? And in that manner, I'm responding to what the gentleman just said about the pepper. The pepper is right. There should be people who are qualified. And I don't think Pepper saying that you cannot take laborers, because this is an all hands on deck situation. Qualified people with certificate, qualified people without certificate, and non-qualified people who are not qualified to put up structures. But there is a need for the non-qualified, the qualified, and the certified. So to say that Pepper is speaking nonsense, I would not agree with that. But that's a person's opinion. Here's the deal. You have a situation right now where people are destitute, they lost everything, people in a shock right now. So you could have everybody included. People who could help with the cleanup process and people who knows how to build and whatnot. Because like Pepper said, if you come to build a house, the gentleman who is helping you clean up might not know the structure, the weight, and what kind of iron and that kind of stuff you put for support, concrete support, rebar and all these other things. It's a science to it. But there are people who knows that, and then you need them. Then there are people who just have a natural knack to build, and they knows that. But if you are not qualified in today's kind of structure building, because building yesterday is not the same building today. So I would not dismiss Black Pepper and just say he's talking nonsense. I think we need to understand when a person make a point, hear them out, and analyze before we just shoot back, because he did not say they don't need them, but he did say one thing that's very important, that they don't understand. Dominica made the boat by employing its people and training a whole lot more young men. Yes, there are some, and there have been many, but it could have been more who would have learned from a disaster 7, 8 years ago to be able to go over to Grenada, to any other Caribbean island and help our brothers and sisters. So it's a discussion we're having to learn from our mistakes, and he pointed it out, and I think people should take it for what he just said. Matt, I'm listening. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. It's 1:56 in the afternoon.
Years ago, a lady and I had a little conversation about seeing and observing, hearing and listening. A lot of Dominicans hear, but they don't listen. What was wrong about what Tad said, Matt? And he's showing you there is nothing on a national scale, governmental otherwise, to have young men and women, he did not say that, but I'm inserting that in the argument, trained, a skill set. He may use qualifications, but I understand exactly. There is not a national program in plumbing, in carpentry, in masonry, in, and have a lot of young and idle people with a skill. Because all you hear these criminals are saying that young people don't want to work, and that is not true. When you do not provide the avenue, the skills, the training, then that's what they're going to say, because they do not want them to be independent. What did Tad say condemning Dominicans, Matt? Did you, Matt, I'm not asking you to defend Tad, but tell them people that are trying to cry down the man like he's crying down Dominicans and Dominica. I did not get that, Matt. I'm there listening. And most of the time, it is better to listen, not to hear. Oh, I hear what you say. Did you listen? Can you tell me what I said? And then everybody have a different interpretation or explanation of what I said, because they did not listen.
I'm being told that there's a program ongoing there at the State College if you want to learn to build carpentry, masonry. There's some ongoing program there at the college. Thanks for the update there. Let's see if we can take a few phone calls. Hello, talk to me. Sorry. On the telephone, yes. Hello.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you doing, my boy?
I'm trying.
I think a lot of your callers take Tad on the wrong context. What Tad is trying to say, or what I would think Tad was trying to say, that is saying the opportunity was there during Maria for the authority to able to train a lot of our young men. Use the people that had the skills that came down to Dominica and help our young men at that time now would not be looking for no special skilled people. Everybody would be able to put a block, concrete, roofing, plumbing, everything. It's just like after Maria. It was a blessing. Somehow it was a destruction, but at the same time it was a blessing when Maria struck, because Dominica to take that opportunity and build and plant a lot of different trees. Trees our grandparents used to plant for to build their houses and the boats and so on and so forth. And nothing like that happened. So right now, it come back to the reporter that you had yesterday or this morning saying the Caribbean is not ready because Dominica lose a great opportunity after Maria to plant palm trees all over by the roadside to keep the erosion for all this kind of rain we was having. You know, to put different things, nothing, no mangoes, no canip, no buds, nothing at all was planted. The speaker of the house say we have to plant 1 million trees. How many did he plant? I mean, come on, Dominicans, all you criticizing people, listen carefully what the guy is trying to say. The guy have a strong point. He's right. If our government that take that opportunity to get our young men and women together in different sections for skills, right now we'll not be asking to send everybody would able to go, everybody would able to do the job. That's what he's saying. And that's what I believe he's saying. And he's damn right.
All right, caller, thank you very much. 449-3095. I guess it's just a misinterpretation there. 449-3095-9697, 616-4257, 305-432-9624. Some people say I don't repeat that overseas number enough. Again, so it's 305-432-9624. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. Let's go back to the telephone. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Matt. Thank you, sir, for taking my call.
No problem.
The problem I noticed we have in Dominica is that everybody is talking about the government to do this, the government to do that. Matt, we got to stop depending on the government and put our resources together and form corporations, form companies, construction companies, form organizations, form institutes. Matt, I come down here from the States. I had $500,000 to invest. I wanted to open a factory. Matt, I went around and asking people if they would like to join. Matt, you know what they tell me? Oh, you come from America or overseas where you come from, and you want to come and make millionaires out of us, take our money. Matt, I didn't get not one person to join. If I could get 10 person would open a factory in Mero, a juice factory. Not one, Matt. We must stop depending on the government to do everything for us. If we depended on the government to do everything for us, just let's clear out the way and let them do what they have to do. Why won't we, the private sector can get together and form companies and corporations? Why? I'll tell you why, Matt. Because we are lack of education. You know, lack. We need to train and educate of the young generation in engineering, architecture, and so on. You know, in the construction industry. I have over 50 years working construction. I built our wax cylinder where floor is at right now. It was cable and wireless. The Dominica Broadcasting Station, all the design, all the I did it as a young man. I work in the ministry, I put my initials, all the outside work you see in the ministry, I did that. You hear me? I work in the university at the back of Botanical Gardens. Grand Bay, I built the school, the Highland School. You hear me, Matt? We had tradesmen, we had Dominica Construction Company with Jack Curry. I don't know if you could remember that. You hear me? But what I'm saying, let we stop depending on the government to do everything. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Thank you. We do appreciate your contribution there. Let's take a phone, of course, a break. We'll come back.
Something good. Something good. Fantastic news from Eaststar Trading Limited, presenting yet another top quality, unbeatably priced product brought in especially for you. Just received world-class Cleo brand canned tuna in chunks and flakes, available in sunflower oil and brine. Prices start as low as $2.95 per can. Yes, you heard right. Cleo brand canned tuna, perfect for delicious dishes at home, in restaurants and hotels. Shop and save today on world-class Cleo brand tuna, available at Eaststar Trading Limited. Eaststar Trading Limited, working hard every day to make a difference for you. Something good.
Bryce and Company Limited. We manufacture high-quality roofing sheets, 24 gauge in different colors, also to customer specifications. That's right, whatever length you want. Aluminum seamless guttering. We also sell BRC mesh, steel rods in all sizes, breach caps, fencing wire, and fencing poles. Free estimates for guttering, galvanized sheets, and fencing wire. Quality products at the lowest prices island-wide. Bryce and Company Limited, located at Caneville Industrial Site, Shed 1A, just before the Old Mill Cultural Center. Call us today at 617-2468 or 615-0178. Bryce and Company Limited. Built for living. Built for life.
In this hot summer, D&D Plumbing is doing it again. It's the Points and Deals Bonanza from June 10th to July 31st. The more you buy, the more points you get, the more discounts you receive. Get to 25 points and you get 10% discount. From 35 to 40 points, you receive 12.5% discount. And from 45 to 50 points, you get 15% discount. The more times you purchase, the more discounts you receive. Come to D&D today and purchase anything Sowide and get your card with 5 points already on it. And the more points you get, the more discounts you receive. And your bonus only for the month of June is the Drain Buster. Get your Drain Buster today and enjoy 10% discount. D&D Plumbing. Terms and conditions apply.
Yes, some passages put you, but if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Vepladu. I wanted to tell my family brought me to Linus after I die. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, Linus Funeral Home. 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So long, Munumo, Pakite Anye Basu Kia 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. Evacate to be Linus. That time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go with the best chaperone, Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu Famdi, si c'est pas Linus, il a fini à l'été.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Lyndhurst Funeral Home today.
Somebody says, Matt, I told you a long time ago. The problem in Dominica is Dominicans. I don't think the problem, I'll read that again. I don't think the problem is Dominicans can't work. The problem is we have an undisciplined workforce. They don't listen. We're too busy talking above one another and not listening to each other. That's why we're so damn divided. We have to change that if we want to go forward. That's a WhatsApp message. Let's take another phone call. Yes. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing, my brother?
How are you doing, my brother? How are you?
Good, man. Matt, it was also nice to hear my brother Tyrone and Anthony this afternoon.
Okay.
Matt, you have the millionaire that just called your phone there. He said that he has this, you want to open some juice factory?
Yes.
Matt, you need to give him my number because I want to invite him to Marigot because I suspect he has not been to Marigot yet. Because I have a person for him to get in contact with that is interested in setting up a juice and a CMOS factory. Okay. A young man by the name of Jason Robin, experiencing that already. He already doing a certain level of CMOS production in Dominica, in Marigot here, where he distributes, and it's of medicinal value, Matt. So that gentleman, so if you are listening to me, come to Marigot, okay? And because we have people who are willing to go into an investment with you based on the money that you say that you're having, please come to Marigot so that we can start to do something in Dominica, because based on what you're saying, you have the capital, we have the people here with the human resource and the technical expertise to do a juice factory, and even more than a juice factory, a proper CMOS factory, Matt. So if that gentleman is serious, I'm inviting him to have the opportunity to put his money where his mouth is and come to Marigot. Let us talk business through. Matty also mentioned that he has had experience in contracting and he did work in DBS Radio and Arawak Cinema and so on. And all of those things make us proud because when we watch these landmarks, we know that they are Dominicans. Matty had the opportunity to do those things. But that is the point we are making right now. The people in Dominica, they do not have the opportunity to do those things. The opportunity is taken away from them. That's the difference, Matt. Not that the opportunity doesn't exist, The opportunities are there, but the opportunities are taken away from the people. So that is the point Tad was making. When we have opportunities to build capacity, we do not make use of those opportunities. So all of the reconstruction that had to be done after the hurricanes and so on, those were opportunities for us to build capacity to train people and so on, especially when the foreigners come down and so on. You work with them, you make sure that you have people working with them to get the skills that they have, Matt. So you build capacity using your people, making opportunities for your people to be engineers, to be tradesmen and so on, and to have the leading position on infrastructural positions and infrastructural projects, Matt. You build capacity. And that is what we're doing. So the gentleman, the millionaire who has the money that he will be investing in Marigot soon, Matt, he had the opportunity to build his capacity in the construction sector. Our locals do not have that opportunity because all the major construction projects, especially those funded by the government, they are given to foreigners. And we even have a situation now where even the private jobs, private construction jobs and so on are given to foreigners right now. Why? Because based on the actions of this government, they have decimated the local industry, the locals who take part in the construction industry. So we do not have as many masons, we do not have as many skilled carpenters and so on, because all of our skilled people, look at like my partner in Tortola there, Kenneth Matthew, one of the top plumbers in the region. He's from Dominica, but he has to go to Tortola to make his living there, man, because of the lack of opportunities given to locals in Dominica. So again, Matt, in conclusion, I just want to invite my millionaire friend, my newfound millionaire friend, to come up to Marigot so that we can sit down and discuss with people who have the ability, the capabilities to do business with you in setting up factories in agro processing and so on, man. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Linton. Thank you very much. Let's go back to the telephone. Yes, 216. Hello, yes.
Yeah, good afternoon again, Matt.
My brother, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm listening. I'm listening. You know, just embracing everybody's opinion. Matt, let me ask you something. You remember when you used to go to high school? You remember the teachers used to perform an exercise in class. You have 4 rows of students, and they would tell the students something at the first row of the class, at the front of the first row, and they would say to pass it on.
By the time you get to the back, it changes. You're right.
Yes. And when it gets to the last row, the person at the back of that row, when the teacher asks them, what did they hear, is a totally different story, Matt.
Yes, of course. Yes, we call it a horseshoe circle. Yes, that's what it is.
Right. So,
yes.
Matt, you see the guy who called trying to contradict me by saying the same thing I say? These are the kind of people that were sitting on in the middle row, distorting information because of hate in their hearts and the ability to interpret, making hate block their interpretation ability. Matt, I emphasized 4 times, you do not need certification. He called and say, I talking shit. Who say you need certification? I said we do not need certification. If somebody apply themselves and can engage and have the technical ability to do, that can pass. That's what my exact words, Matt. That's what my exact words. And Matt, it's a sad situation because what I'm saying there continues today, Matt. I'm going to say something. It's nothing personal, but I've seen videos of a handler of the Prime Minister going in Bath Estate on the block and handing envelopes suggested to be cash to guys on the block. And that same person is developing a major structure as we speak. What I've never seen is that person, a video of that person go with a van and take 10 guys and put him on his job as apprentice. Pay them accordingly, let them build their skill set. Matt, the facts are there. People can relate to that. But if you call New York now and any blue man that come out from Bath Estate in New York, no, Matt, I can give you 5 phone numbers. If you call them no, you're not getting them.
I know a few.
You know why?
I know a few for sure.
But you know why? They're union workers, they cannot answer phone. They at work as we speak. If you get one, he take a week off and he's still getting 70% of his wages because he get a side job, private job. They can do that. But the facts are there. I'm not disputing the ability of nobody, Dominica, to do nothing. And if I were those guys, I would get my own vest, I would get my own helmet, and I would protest in a I want to work to downstairs. 20-man Buffett said just also take their T-Max and park by the financial center in a boots, helmet, and their reflective vest and say, we want to work too. No big deba, no violence, no deba, just to show the government and the people in charge that it have to take that to let them people know they're ready. But I know them man want to work. I just talk to them, man. It hurting me to strengthen my point. When I say something, I say it out of information. They want to work, but envelopes of money coming to them on the block to keep them on the bench instead, Matt. Call anybody back at state. They can attest to that. And when they come states, some of them just call me. I train 3 fellows already, Matt. And leave them to the extent, leave them and go on other projects and them and executing like they know that for 10 years. Here's one to come out in my eyes, you know, Matt. No. I'm telling you, I'm a testimony. I know what I know. It's exposure they need, Matt. Engagement. The ability is in our DNA, descendants of Africa, straight from slave trade. That spirit, it is one thing. People can say all what they want. That spirit is in Dominica. It is just being controlled and capped and kept away from being itself. Strategically, systematically. And Matt, you know that. Because you have been New York. You can cross-reference what I say in. So I don't want people to take me on a political drive and understand what I say. Everybody can go and help. Yes, the help is needed. And I said a man cannot pass a piece of wood. That's not my point. My point is we miss the ability. And the ability extends to the point where we would have gangs on a regular basis getting contracts outside of Dominica. It doesn't necessarily have to take a disaster. If things were done right, then, Matt, 5 years? 5 years is plenty years to solidify a skill set, man. What some people have to do is just notice where some fellows strong and try to make them focus on that in that area. That's all it really is, in order for them to really lock down that skill. You get my point, Matt?
I get your point, caller. Thank you very much, though. Thank you, Chad, for clarifying. Again, 449-3095, 449-3096, and 97222. Hello, yes. Good morning.
Although you tell me not to call your program, but I call in. Somebody tell me that's what you said yesterday.
Really?
Not one Brian Linton tell him not to call my name. Even though I say I would not call his name, but look, I end up calling his name.
You call your name, you can call his name. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's true. You're a good lawyer. Matt, I learned joinery from the youth skill training program. We had different facilitators, Matt. And Matt, where is the youth skill training program? Matt, after Maria, you have you have criminals running the country that passes for government. There was money given to Dominica by the World Bank or IMF. How much? Over $2 or $3 million for small businesses that were damaged and all of that. I could have bring them where my workshop was completely destroyed. I met 8 requirements, Matt. It was about 300 and something of us that met the 8 requirements. We have to photocopy this, photocopy that, and we are supposed to get $6,666 and change, Matt. Matt, are you there with me?
I'm right here, sir.
Not up till today. You have a lot of people that never received nothing, and I can tell you, my tongue, you see me, my tongue is a lang sal. They said, lang la verite, lang sal, I hope you're doing well. God bless you. I never get a penny. You had that lunatic come on the air and say he will check us. Up to now. But how encouraging. You have the Chinese doing every major infrastructural work in Dominica. But why Stuco and all the other fellas, the Libler guy, you remember Libler guy, they have a company as well, Matt?
I know, yes.
You know how many times that man cried on your program, Matt, crying as a big contractor and they cannot get work in Dominica? So I understand in the context in which Tad was stating his point, Matt, is that these criminal enterprises have failed. But I did not see failure. I see a systematic and deliberate agenda. You know it have the brain drain, Matt, when you're intelligent and educated people sharply in, Matt.
It's happening.
There is a skilled drain which was put in place to make sure all our skilled people run off. All our educated people, we had Hurricane David, Hurricane Eric, and Hurricane Marie, and Hurricane Skerat, and they just destroy Dominica. So, Matt, there is nothing in an organized way to have young people engaged. No matter how many times I tell you, they could have industrialized marijuana instead of giving man marijuana to smoke. It was on a small scale. And we could do it on a larger scale gradually to process marijuana into oil and sell our oil. But these criminals does not want young people or old people or nobody to be independent. All roads lead to Rome. You have to come to them for everything. So yesterday you listened to an idiot, Matt, and excusing your ears and your listeners, saying, oh, they party over the weekend to the Monday, they don't want to go and work. I told you I was downtown, Matt, and I seen videos of what happened in certain parts in Dominica. And to call them to work, black must saying they were partying. So, and Matt is just cautioning. So to make the people a double victim, oh, they don't want to vote, scare it out, let them suffer. Who can vote, scare it out under the present situation having to do with electoral reform and elections and the electoral commission and all the madness and cautioning and all that talking and things? Automatically, these criminals are going to surrender or throw in the towel. Not on the 7th, you'll be there, no, you dress all in red.
I'll be there like you.
Well, anyway, Matt, I am just saying.
I'll push you on the wheelchair.
Stop. Huh?
I'll push you on the wheelchair.
All right, I am just concluding there, Matt, and say, let us cut Tad some slack. I get the essence of what he was saying, and he said it in his statement. The failure to organize the people, to have something structured where we could have more skilled people, because he said it's a cycle. Every season we have disasters, whether regionally or nationally, and we're supposed to have a surplus of skilled people so we could distribute them or deploy them or whatever word you want to use, man. So please, let us cut each other some blood clot slack and listen. And that's how you learn rather than just, oh, blessings, immaculate blessings, oh, tired and dead. That is not the objective. Focus on the criminals and let one another express themselves. Maybe some might not do it as good as you, but please let us free up. Blessings.
All right, blessings to you, blessings. Good afternoon to you, Matt. Black pepper is absolutely correct. It's about preparing our people for times like this. Blessings is right. It's listening to, that's important. Matt, I'm in the Houston area and I need to link up with Black Pepper. Yes, I'll give you the link up, okay? On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Hello, good afternoon, Matt. How are you doing?
How are you, sir? How are you?
Good. Matt, a couple of questions which I know you know the answer and we know the answer. So, who built the credit union in Roseau, Central Credit Union?
A Dominican.
Who built the Casibu School?
A Dominican.
Who built the Casibu School?
A Dominican.
Good. Those houses in Wall House and environs, who built those houses?
All Dominicans.
Dominicans. Do we have that capacity now? I'm not in Dominica for the last 10 years or so. Do we have the capacity to do those buildings right now?
I'm sure we still have the capacity, yes?
But I know a lot of people migrated, Matt. I know a lot of people migrated because lack of jobs, lack of opportunities, because I remember AC Engineering was struggling to get work to do and stuff like that, and Chico Constructions and those major contractors we have in Dominica.
I know ACE was struggling for a while, but they've been employed on a few major projects in recent times.
In recent times, but
Yes.
they had to be crying and calling and their belly was griping for a very long time. I know that because I was in Dominica for some time. No, my point is, I believe there has been a deliberate effort by the government to deny Dominicans work so that they can sit on the block. Now, there is a problem in terms of work ethics in Dominica. There is a problem. But I'll tell you something, Matt. When you look at major basketball teams and football teams, when the team fails, what does the owner of the team does? They fire the coach, they fire the manager, and they employ new people. That's what we have to do in Dominica. Fire the managers, fire them, and get new people to run the scene, so that we will not find ourselves in that same predicament again. But you see, I know we can say it, but doing it is the next subject in its own self. But if Dominicans don't understand, we're going to stay in a perpetual state of hungry, wanting, crying, but not doing anything. We need to get up and do something. We need to remove the government in office right now. We need to get rid of that government. So that, because the college was functioning all right, but they destroyed the college. Because I worked in industry in Dominica, and most of my colleagues came from the college. Bob Dawasco, Domlec. Right? Right now, I don't know if we have that capacity right now. Okay? So we know the problem. We're going all around the bush, but we know the problem. The problem is the government, because they are the one responsible to ensure that your people are trained.
So you're saying getting rid of the government is the answer. That's what you're saying, yes?
Sorry?
As you're saying that getting rid of the government is the answer. That's your concern there.
That's the fundamental problem. The fundamental problem. There are other problems, but the fundamental problem is the government.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. 232. During the construction of the Kempinski Hotel on the north, workers were imported from Asia and the Pacific to do the high-end finish. As was said, we did not have the skill set. Do you know that the government failed to bring in at least 6 young people, Dominicans, as apprentices to understudy the experts while the hotel was being built? Do you know, to date, as government have not sent one young person to Asia or the Pacific to be trained, so that in the future the high-end finish money will stay in Dominica and in Dominicans' hands? Let's listen to a voice note. Of course, we're moving quickly here.
Good afternoon, Matt. Interesting conversation. I totally agree with Black Pepper. We have a lot of skilled people in Dominica, but they're not given the chance. And then you have a lot of these people that's supposed to be in power, that's supposed to provide the jobs for them. What they do to shut them up, they give them, they bring their little paper bags and whatever to shut them up. And the sad thing about it, I think our eyes have been closed, especially the young people. Our eyes have been closed to not see beyond today. And that is the problem, because when they get the paper bag, they just see I can go and buy a sneakers, I can go and buy and then come on the block and play, blah, 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 blah. Not realizing that the little paper bag money they give you, it's done in not even a day. It's done. Most of them can't even pay a bill with it. But another thing I heard Black Pepper say is that if you know a lot of guys, Baffosit guys, when they come down, they most of them work in the construction field, working with the union. And that is so true. But my question is, how many of them that are a part of the cabal or supporting the cabal that know what is going on or see what is going on, especially in the field that they're making so much money in the US. And I know they're making money in the US. They're making good money, especially when they're union workers. They're making good money, man. But instead of trying to help their people in Dominica, they support the cabal to keep the people down. I don't know, is it vindictive? I'm not saying all of them do it. Don't get me wrong, not all of them do it. But, a lot of them, when you listen to them, look at Al, for instance. Al works, from what I understood, he's a good floor man. He works with floor, whatever, in the construction in the construction field. But he is a very strong supporter of the regime now. Is he trying to say, Al, are you trying to say that only you can benefit, only you can make money and not the other people? Just a question, Sir Al. I'm just asking because your attitude towards, the government and what the things that you say and the support you give them, that's what it seems like it's saying. Not my word, seems like it's saying. So, you cannot blame a lot of the people, a lot of the young people. They bring an envelope, they give it to them. Oh, la-vi-do. Life goes on, but I totally agree with what Black Pepper is saying. Thank you, Matt.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
Matt, right off the bat, let us get this clear. We're dealing with a narcissist who has no empathy for people and doesn't love people, although he knows that if he says that, he can use them. That's what narcissists are good at. They know how to use people, but they don't care. So let's get that off our chest. Now, when a Chinese man, while delivering the first building, when the Princess Margaret Hospital was being rebuilt, which came to be known as the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, he said words to the effect that the Dominican workers were not trained and could not work with the Chinese. That was the excuse given at the time. But why was that not rectified? Why was there not training? But besides that, Matt, at the end of the hospital, I live right next to it, when the job was done, we saw lousy workmanship by Chinese workers. And guess what? I personally saw with my own eyes Dominicans doing the plastering at the end when they were rushing. And where the Dominicans plastered looked a lot better than where the Chinese plastered. So it is criminal to tell us that Dominicans are not trained to do those jobs. It is demeanoring. It is racist. It is all kinds of things you can think about to say Dominicans cannot do the job. Demeanoring. And the young people would love to work, especially if you paid them well. There may be some problems, yes. There may be some who are ill-disciplined, etc. But if this thing gets going, Dominicans workers will be disciplined, and as long as they're making good money, they will learn the trade and they will excel because they do it as soon as they go to another country. Why can't it be done here? But the government is not doing anything to help the situation. And as a matter of fact, it seems like they prefer to have the Chinese, or they've made an agreement with the Chinese to employ Chinese workers over native workers. And that's a shame. That's a big shame. Thank you, man.
Well, I don't know why some people misunderstood what Tad was saying. But as we speak, the Chinese are building a huge school in Tibo, but not one single Dominican is employed, except to give security so they can understudy them for future engagements. Clearly, the government's agenda is to destroy our skills. Men, to destroy our skills men so they could bring them an envelope just in time to vote. Somebody's showing me the outside of a building there in Baffin State. Government building. Where Chinese constructed. Totally exposed. And the person is saying, man, this is what they say is better than our Dominican contractors. Chinese compressed board houses in Baffin State. Clear disgrace. Let's go to the voice notes there. A lot of coming in. A lot of it's coming at this time, yes?
Hey, Matt.
Doctor.
To you, Mr. Fountain. Mr. Fountain, I want to say to you and the team.
I suspect we have the wrong one there. Let's try.
Hey, Matt, let's see, Matt. Matt, let me tell you, Matt, I'm listening to your program, Matt, and at the end of the day, I say we have so many different advisors. There's more advice that some people living in the Dominica. But let me tell you, Matt, you know the most important resources of a country is its people. And as long as people in position that's supposed to be leading and setting examples and be a guideline to development for its people, disregard the values of its most important resources, which is its people, you're going to have people debating like that. As long as people take and put things in position to make their people, their nation, comfortable and can be able to create employment, learn a skill, and do things like that. There was a time when you were building, man, fellas had so much work. And we're talking about local guys, you know, local tradesmen, local guys having their own skill. There was so much work that them guys will not even have time to want to even work for you. So it all goes with the way your country or the people in position put things in place that people can appreciate and know that there is value in working. What's the minimum wage, man? You know what it is, man. We blame the few that work, but the few that work have a laissez-faire attitude because they're working all day in that hot sun. And at the end of the day, the resources they get for their hard work and sweat, that wage, that small check, is of no significant value, but they don't have a choice. Ask me, Matt, will that motivate you? No, Matt. No, Matt. I'm up here instead when I work. The more I work, the more money I get. Because at the end of the day, we want all overtime. When you get that check, you feel, okay, something is happening. All people have it tough, bro. And we're going to have that kind of attitude and that kind of debate and all that stuff because why? There's nothing in place for the young native to see a direction of success. So it makes them feel like I live for nothing, I die for nothing. Bless them, man.
Somebody's reminding me that full population, Tibo, is one of the villages who had the most builders, and Chinese are building school. Okay, you see pictures of Chinese or the Dowaska, not the Chinese, clearing the buildings there in Baffin State. Clock buildings. Constant engagement there for Dowasco on clogging the pipes. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, let me just say quickly. Matt, how much you think a tradesman is getting paid in Dominica, Matt?
Between 150 and 200 sometimes.
All right, so a little laborer might get a $50 or somewhere there. And
maybe $80, maybe sometimes. It depends on who you work for, yes.
You check the cost of living in Dominica, it's hell.
Yes,
so all of that are adding insult to injury, Matt. Matt, we have two, There are two common enemies Dominicans have to consider and take them seriously. These are the enemies. It's not labor rights and UWP, I think all your nonsense. Are the Chinese and the Dominican Liberal Party. These are the enemies of the state. But I am just saying, my brethren, we listen with prejudicial, discriminating ears. And the same thing goes with the eyes. So if you hear it's Q95, turn off that radio. Or you hear his blessings. Oh, Mr. Roy talking foolishness. What he's saying there now? While he's talking. And then you don't hear blessings. They're talking a set of nonsense on the radio. What did he say? Caution, And we have the tendency to be that ridiculously senseless most of the times. So wake up. You did not go to school. Stop making scary return. Nobody, no politician, whether red, blue, or green, fool you. Or people that go to school, you perceive, just your senses, your ears, your eyes. Oh, he dressed nice, so he's a nice person. No. Dig deeper. Think critically, seriously. And stop taking everything on face value, on the surface. Dig deeper. So please, let us express ourselves in the frustration, in the brokenness, poverty, distress, rather than we on the radio sounding like we're fighting with one another. The discussion needs to be, taken a few notches higher. The focus needs to be on the Chinese and the Dominica Liberal Party. Stop arguing and fighting with one another. Matt, I don't understand with little ghetto people. I understand. Poverty breeds a myriad of real critical behavior. You will not believe it when you see what poor people can do to one another. And I'm not excusing them, but ignorance is hell, Matt. Have a blessed day, sir.
Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. 246. Man, this government has brought this country so bad. This semester at the State College, from thousands of the past years, this year 300 students will be attending college. Things are terrible. This government is showing their incompetence, and they just need to go. That's a WhatsApp message. Matt, we have no idea what the agreement the Prime Minister signed with the Chinese contains. What's in there? Whatever it is, it appears to be in his advantage and also his advisors. Good afternoon, relaxing. Have a relaxed evening. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Martin. How are you, sir?
My brother, Glenroy Coffee.
Yeah, Matt, I'm weighing in on the convention. I'm listening, and very, very interesting points have been raised. And imagine initially when you read the text about the person who at least had the idea of sending Dominicans or committing a contingent of Dominicans to help our sister islands. By the way, let me say, I wish them well, speedy recovery, because we know it is, Matt. We have had our own experiences, and they sort of reach out to us, so we could reach out to them. Matt, the interesting thing is that I listened and I heard Black Pepper's point, and it is so much on point that we must not miss the point. And before even we go there quickly, Matt, we have to understand what kind of value do we bring for ourselves or to ourselves. Matt, let us say someone chose to accept $5,000 right now from a politician and to be forgotten for 5 years, Matt. You would be forgotten for 1,825 days. So when you divide that 5,000, that 1825 into that 5,000, your value per day would be $2.70. That means the politician who have paid you, you vote him, or you vote and then he forget you for 5 years. So you now place a value on yourself for $2.70 per day. But then you have other values and other avenues that you could have explored and make a better value out of that for yourself. Typical example. We know now there are 365 days in a year. So if someone chooses to work for 300 days in a year, an unskilled man, at just $60 per day, man, he would have earned $18,000 a year. By 5 years, man, would have brought in to $90,000. Right? That's an unskilled guy.
You know how much money per day? He would have increased his value at $49 per day. And the skill man, at the same 300, who get 120 per day, would have earned for a year $36,000. And Matt, for 5 years, you'd have accrued $180,000. And so would have brought $90 value per day. Matt, we must understand is the path that we choose. But as we speak, there's a project going on in Eglinton, Matt. 21 Chinese are employed and no locals. So the Black Pepper point is that had we exposed our people with all of the opportunities that we got after Maria, by now our people would have been equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge. Right now they would have been on their own and could act on their own so that they could deliver a quality product anywhere they go. So it must not miss the point about exposing. It's no use to get trained and certified and you are not exposed. You need to be exposed, Matt. And that is exactly what we're talking about. We have to have a training school for people who need to upgrade their skills, because we are the very ones who will come back and say to them, Matt, that you are not skilled, you cannot do the job, and so we cannot employ you. So the point is, Dominica has missed an opportunity after Maria to engage its people into constructive work. Today, the same men that we're talking about who are idle would have been better prepared to advance themselves and extend themselves to the region to be service. So, Matt, I just wanted to make that point. Have a good opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity. Have a good afternoon.
A good afternoon to you again. So 2:50 is the afternoon time. Take a quick break and come back.
Something good. Something good. Fantastic news from Eaststar Trading Limited, presenting yet another top quality, unbeatably priced product brought in especially for you. Just received world-class Cleo brand canned tuna in chunks and flakes, available in sunflower oil and brine. Prices start as low as $2.95 per can. Yes, you heard right. Cleo brand canned tuna, perfect for delicious dishes at home, in restaurants and hotels. Shop and save today on world-class Cleo brand tuna, available at Eaststar Trading Limited. Eaststar Trading Limited, working hard every day to make a difference for you. Something good. Something good.
Bryce and Company Limited. We manufacture high-quality roofing sheets, 24 gauge in different colors, also to customer specifications. That's right, whatever length you want. Aluminum seamless guttering. We also sell BRC mesh, steel rods in all sizes, breach caps, fencing wire, and fencing poles. Free estimates for guttering, galvanized sheets, and fencing wire. Quality products at the lowest prices island-wide. Bryce and Company Limited, located at Caneville Industrial Site, Shed 1A, just before the Old Mill Cultural Center. Call us today at 617-2468 or 615-0178. Bryce and Company Limited. Built for living. Built for life.
In this hot summer, D&D Plumbing is doing it again. It's the Points and Deals Bonanza from June 10th to July 31st. The more you buy, the more points you get, the more discounts you receive. Get to 25 points and you get 10% discount. From 35 to 40 points, you receive 12.5% discount. And from 45 to 50 points, you get 15% discount. The more times you purchase, the more discounts you receive. Come to D&D today and purchase anything store-wide and get your card with 5 points already on it. And the more points you get, the more discounts you receive. And your bonus only for the month of June is the Drain Buster. Get your Drain Buster today and enjoy 10% discount. D&D Plumbing. Terms and conditions apply.
Person pas arrivé pour dire nous. But if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Vepladu. I want to tell my family brought me to Linus after I die. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, ma jamais tapé kate ouais spécial à l'émoté vivant. Linus Funeral Home. 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So là, mon numéro, pas quitter rien bas ou dire. Qui est 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100. For the emergency emergency number 277-1800. If I keep it busy, Linus, that time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go, call the best chaperone. Linus, you know, home. Mama to do from day, si c'est pas Linus, il a fini à l'été.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Lyndhurst Funeral Home today.
Our time is short. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, Matt. Me again, Matt.
Yes, I. Yes,
Matt,
I.
yeah, Matt. I so brought up a very valuable point in terms of numbers, Matt. So we're dealing with the returns from, just the theory of engaging our young men and whatever, man. But Matt, I'm sitting there, I'm asking myself, for some reason, I think that we have been significantly cheated. We have been triple cheated, Matt. And that has to do with when they cost the projects and contracts are granted to those developers, Matt. Matt, does the government get a breakdown as to how much labor is what, how much the materials for the development is, what type of material, who is doing the oversight in terms of the materials, who is doing the oversight in terms of the labor, how the division of labor against the monetary value for labor, how it is being dispensed. But I say that because I am of the opinion that the projects are being cost on a foreign value level. But you know what that means? Technically, on a foreign exchange level and on international best practices to do with wages of for workmen, I can almost suggest that the value of one man in Dominica, the developer is actually contracted with money that can facilitate 3 to 4 men. You get my point, Matt?
I got it.
Because at the end of the day, most times you hear, not most times, every time you're in contract, it's always in US dollars, man. Everything is always in US dollar. So while we're looking to get inclusiveness in, based on my statement and everybody who second my statement and the conversation was very good this afternoon, we also have to look at the repercussions in terms of value now. How does the value that comes back impact? Is it fair or are we being robbed or cheated? Based on what the contract value was and for what the monies were supposed to do. You get my point, Matt? So, Matt, it's a lot of little things. And, Matt, I don't want to leave out the ladies, Matt. I just came from a place there, 4 trucks loading 3 female drivers. And, Matt, when you have the development of young entrepreneurs and skill set men and you start to manage your team and you have 10 workers and 15 workers, Matt, the young ladies that are good with maths, they can open their own little companies, preparing wages for smaller companies, man. You know what I'm talking about? But there are big companies in the US, they don't take care of their wages. The wages preparation are contracted by companies that just do only that,
That's true.
Your check doesn't come back from your employer, It comes from a company that your employer subcontracted to do your wages, your deduction for bank, your social security, your tax, everything, man. So here it is again. Let's move to the other gender. How can we make an all-inclusive move? There is a lot of room for the clerical aspect of the work too. In terms of ordering, in terms of compiling invoices and math. When I tell you we miss the bullseye and we're going to suffer significantly for that, Matt, believe it. And you can see it. You can see the girls are almost left to do nothing in Dominica.
The ladies.
I watch a little, Matthew, I watch a little get together called Tropicini on the weekend, Matt. But when people was being sexual and looking at the girls in bath suits and their body looking on point, but I looked at the faces of some of those girls and I see a lot of intelligent, beautiful, conscious Dominican women that are not given the opportunity to build capacity within themselves. 90% of them. I see it, man. I wasn't looking at this string. I watched the faces, and I'm saying, how does that beautiful, seem to be intelligent, secretly girl impact the economy of Dominica? All she can do now is go and free up her frustration on the beach because she has no engagement as we speak.
All right, thank you. Good observation there, Chad. All right, I'm going to end this afternoon there with a big calypso there from 2013. Oh, boy. The shoe squeezing me. Ross Kelly. Remember this one?
It was a gift, a little something from Uncle Phil.
Enjoy as we go. And remember our colleagues there in the region, huh? Pay attention to what's going on there with Barrow.
But what took my fancy was a pair of Nike. As I see a Jordan, putting me in fashion. But to my disappointment, something wasn't looking right. Like Cinderella's sister, if it was a little tight. The shoes squeezing me, the shoes squeezing me. But what can I do? I really love it too. The shoes squeezing me, the shoes squeezing me. Got to get the pain, I must wear my shoes again. The shoes squeezing me, the shoes squeezing me. Got to find a coupler, put it on a stretcher, soaking up the leather. Otherwise it blows,
Blows on my toes.
Shoes squeezing me, the shoes squeezing me.
I haven't seen the Kelly the Ghost in a while. Hope you're doing okay, brother.
When foot too big and shoe too small, I rest the feet to make even big man fall. Who's in a coma? You can't even smile. You'll be at the grind just to be in style. It's either you wicked or the damn stupid. If you just in you, it's too many things you can do. Pass it on to a brother, someone it can fit, instead of taking that toucher and crying over you. You should visit me, you should visit me. But what can I do? I really love my shoe. You should visit me, you should visit me. Got to get the pain, I must wear that shoes again. You should visit me, you should visit me. Got to find a cover, put it on a stretcher, soften up the leather. Otherwise it blows. You should visit me, you should visit me.